Well, welcome.
Welcome, welcome to the Wednesday night podcast, early access on Sunday. It's a weird Wednesday we got going on here. First reoccurring guest, Santi,
Yeah.
joining us yet again.
You know what? I always kind of knew I would have this title, but it's great to just see it come full circle where I'd be the first invited guest back. I really appreciate that.
No, it's going to be a hell of a show today. So first off, we're going to announce a new partnership we got. If you pay any attention on Twitter, you've already seen it. We're working with the Slurred Nerd and Coral Sword to bring you these early access streams on the Coral Sword Twitch channel. This will be bi-weekly,
Cool.
hopefully every Sunday, but this allows us to be more flexible with our guests and such, so we might catch it on a different day.
Yep. Another announcement we have going on is Texas Showdown. Make sure you guys have signed up. The event is on May 10th till the 12th. It will be at an amazing location hotel located 2001 Post Oak Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77056. Please go check out the smash.gg /Texas Showdown. You'll be able to find all different types of fighting games, which, I think from our point of view, we definitely want to expand on. Some of those fighting games are Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, of course, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Guilty Gear, etc., etc.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That one game, right? That one game, Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Yes. Welcome back, Santi. Again,
Hey,
thank you so much for
Good to
being
be here.
We
Good to be
appreciate you
back.
so
I really
much.
appreciate it. I said everything in the first podcast, so there's going to be a lot of silence here. You guys might just want to talk to each other. I don't really have much.
So what's new with you? What's happened in the last couple of weeks since you've been on?
Man, well, I'm gonna tell you what. I haven't gone to a tournament for this new season that's PR eligible. I've been a little low key on the tournaments. I did go to the Arcadian. I have registered for DreamHack. I will be going to DreamHack, which will be my first out of city tournament.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you there.
Oh, really?
We're carpooling. We got an Airbnb.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I must have missed that email that you guys sent.
Oh, my apologies.
Wait, hold on. You guys got a carpool going and you got an Airbnb? I missed
we got
that.
Airbnb.
Sometimes it automatically goes to junk.
Yes.
I have Pablo's emails
Yeah.
filtered the same way.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
don't worry about it. Well, that's cool. I'll see you guys there.
Yeah, we're going to enter Brawlhalla doubles, me and Italo.
Really?
The only reason why Tim is entering the Brawlhalla doubles is because a pro Brawlhalla player liked his tweet, so he just said,
He's an instant fanboy. Yeah, that'll make you an instant fanboy.
I figure there'll only be like 5 entrants, so if we can get past the first round, I can get in medal contention.
Yeah, you're on a podium at that point.
Right.
Yeah,
So tell me, like, for example, I haven't gone out of town to tournaments like this.
Right.
And I'm going, I've been to DreamHack, I've been to PAX, but never really entered a tournament and have that purpose of going to enter a tournament. So what should my mentality be when going out there?
Man, it really depends on what you go there for, to be honest. I mean, I've been around people who, when they go to an out-of-city tournament, anything besides winners finals, grand finals, maybe even losers finals, it's a failure. So I've been in those carpools where you have someone who's literally stoic, doesn't say a word, maybe has their headphones in the whole ride over, and they're expecting to just do well, and that's just their mentality. If you have a mentality of an organization and wanting to partner and wanting to branch out, maybe meet people that you know of their company or you know of what they run, but you've never been able to, shake hands and talk about, what your plans are for your business. That's a different mentality.
Yeah.
And then you have mentalities like mine where where's the nearest bar? Right? And when's my first pool match?
Yes.
And maybe I'll see some people that I knew 10 years ago and I can chit-chat. And that's a different mentality. So it really comes down to what you're looking for, what you're going for, what you want to get out of it, and just be, handling yourself appropriately.
Yeah, last year when I went to DreamHack, I got to sit down with an esports CEO of this organization in Louisiana called Crescent Esports. They went there specifically for Battlegrounds, PUBG. It was a great time for just watching during all that hype, the PUBG hype. I got to sit down with them, and the best I think advice that he gave me in regards to esports is that you're there to make friends.
Yeah.
You're there to meet people and be with the community.
Yeah, that's a good thing to just always have in your back pocket for sure.
Yeah.
Will you be heading out to Shockwave?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to take any time off. I'll probably just head up because I believe for Ultimate, I believe it's Saturday.
It is Saturday night.
So I think I'm going to head out Friday night. I'll probably hit a couple people up for housing. Play Saturday. Just depends. Like I said, it depends on how that trip at the bar is whether I'm going to stay Saturday night or head back home or go Sunday morning.
How many people are you going with?
I just registered. I don't know. I'm a
Boy,
big
you
boy.
just
We'll
come-
get you
come
in the
hang out with us.
LSG.
Yeah, I'm a
Come
big
hang out with
big
us,
boy.
man.
I'm
Come-
gonna drive my no. I'm driving my own car. I kind of like the feeling of getting myself
Yeah.
there.
Oh no,
kinda-
you can drive your own car. I'm just saying, like, you come over where we're at, hang out. You know,
Oh, no,
Playing
dude.
board games.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all about board games, but
Yeah.
I'm a free spirit. So you guys may see me here, see me there. I have since I got on y'all's podcast. I'm just gonna say this for other guests you guys have had. Since I got on y'all's podcast, I had about 4 or 5 podcasts reach out and like, Santi, we want to get you in. We've
Yeah.
seen you on the
You're
LSG.
popular,
LSG's popular. LSG's blowing up. And so I might be doing 2 or 3 podcasts Saturday night at DreamHack. Who knows? So
good. That's good.
yeah, no.
Well, we won you when we were recording our like experience. We won you there like
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
at
We're
least a
gonna-
second.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
We're going to find the nearest bar. We're going to stroll in like 2 a.m. when they're closing down.
No, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Get
no,
an interview with Santi.
no, I usually hit up 2 or 3 friends and just tell them, hey, I'm headed to Austin. If you want a free ride, you don't have to worry about paying me gas money. Just hop on in and come on over.
There
So I
you go.
usually keep it pretty empty towards the end.
Yeah.
What do you think about it moving to Dallas-Fort Worth this year?
Man, I'm bummed it's not in Austin, but I've seen, when it comes to people that I've known 10 years ago, most of them are in Austin. Like
Okay.
some of the original people that started Tourney Locator, some
Yeah.
of the original Dallas crew from the Brawl days. So it's a longer drive. At the same time, I'm going to meet more people that I haven't seen in, almost a decade.
Right.
So I'm stoked for it for that sense.
Yeah, I'm looking
Cool.
forward to seeing the whole Tourney Locator setup, seeing Shockwave.
Yeah, yeah.
And speaking of Shockwave, we've had a lot of Houston players go up there recently. I think we talked about this a little bit with Zaddy, but Deluxe seems to turn over a new leaf. He's always talking about traveling, always.
Yeah.
He was up there, is it last week, right?
Yeah, Deluxe went up last
Do you
week.
think it has something to do with the XVR sponsorship? Do you think that's what it is, or do you think he's just taking it more seriously now?
I don't know. It's tough to get in someone's head. I haven't really spoken to him about it, but at the end of the day, if you want to be ranked in Texas, if you want to be known as a top 10 player and someone who's taking names, you do have to travel. And right now, Dallas is a place where you're going to get exposure.
Right.
1, you're going to get exposure. 2, you're going to be playing a lot of players that are ranked into that top 15 range. I think Dallas had the most in that top 15. I could be wrong there. And you may have a chance to play ESAM or MVD,
Right.
now Maester. So it's just a place that you have to go. So I don't know where his motivation is, but it's definitely good for him in terms of PR, in terms of exposure, and in terms of just leveling up.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, being, I guess, one of the biggest, super locals, is that what we're calling it?
That's what they're calling it.
Okay, I guess that's what we're being one of the biggest super locals maybe in the nation, right?
Yeah.
It's insane, and it's just, I think it's really great that these players are going out there and experiencing what it is like to constantly be joining 200 plus
Yeah.
entrants.
Yeah.
Instead of, locally 50, 25.
No, I agree. I mean, I definitely would. It's definitely not just your everyday weekly.
Yeah.
So I think like a super local or super weekly, whatever you want to call it, I think it's appropriate. I mean, hell, sometimes Shockwaves have larger numbers than any tournament I've ever been to. And I've gone to Philadelphia. I've gone to regionals that we had in Texas 10 years ago, and they're surpassing those numbers. So I think that's an appropriate term for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that speaks even more to how good Austin actually is. To be consistently going out and winning every single time.
Yes, absolutely, because you have more opportunity for upsets. You have a higher variance.
Yeah.
You have a larger sample size. It speaks highly of him, and it also speaks highly of the Tourney Locator team to even put on an event like that consistently, week in, week out, and I just have great quality with it. I would say.
Right. So let's talk about SFC.
Okay.
We recently heard the news that SFC got a new venue.
Right.
At a great location, I think.
I'd agree.
What are your thoughts on the move? Like, why move all of a sudden and not, what are your thoughts on the move, I guess?
Yeah.
Before I go in and dissect it myself.
I'm ready. I would love to hear the dissection first. You may give me some more insight than what I have. I mean, moving to a hotel venue, if you're wanting to become a super local, if you're wanting to create that, I mean, you have to do it. And it's
Right.
kind of like what comes first, right? The chicken or the egg? Are you going to wait for your current venue to be overflowing with people and for people to be having a bad time or being cramped?
Yeah.
Or are you going to go out there and take a risk? And anytime you have an opportunity for a high reward, you know, you're going to have risk associated with it. So, I mean, if that's what they're going for, it's something you have to do. You have to create a bigger space. You have to become a little bit closer to the city, and you know, and just try to put on the best product that you can. So, but their venue that they have, you know, on the north side, it's a great venue too. It's just you can't fit 150 people in there. So it's what your give and take. You eventually you got to make a move with that chess piece and see where it takes you.
Yeah, it definitely feels like now there's a hole in the scene, though, with the opening on the north side. There's no events up there anymore. There's a lot of players that are relatively close to there. But there's no event catering to those guys anymore. It'd be nice to see a smaller, something that is okay, like we were talking about before the show, something that's okay with a smaller turnout, having an event over there regularly.
Well, I mean, hell, I mean, if you want to put on if you're okay with just having a 30-person weekly, or maybe you just have a couple PR players show up. I mean, then that's fitting.
Little Lux Travel Fund.
Right.
Ismon Travel Fund.
Yeah. but, I mean, at the same time, when you talk about, and I hear a lot of people in the scene talk about, we need a big event. We need this. If you're going to have something like that, you are going to have holes at different parts of the city that don't have anything to drive that. And, you know, it's just kind of like it's a give and take kind of thing. If you can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to have
absolutely.
You're going to have some holes in some parts of the city in order to put on a great, you know, event at the hotel. I just know that there's a bar there. Going back on the bar thing, so you know, I'm a fan.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, you know, I think it feels a little rushed. You know, it's kind of like, oh, okay, this Sunday will be the last one, or I don't know if that's what they said, but it's kind of like the following Monday was just like, oh yeah, next Sunday we'll have it at this hotel. I felt like that was a little rushed, in my opinion.
I definitely would have liked to see more of a social media push behind the transition, like hyping up the announcement first off. If they want this first event, because it's going on right now, I don't know how many entrants they have. I know they only had 11 pre-registrations, but Houston's horrible about that.
Right.
So easily 11 pre-reds can turn into 60, 70 people.
Yeah.
As disorganized as the city is. But
I mean, there's pros and cons. I mean, you never know when you get a contract if you have a deadline on that contract and you need to commit a little faster than maybe you would want to. At the same time, you know, if people know that there's a 6-week window where you're not going to be at that venue anymore, maybe people are already okay with not showing up on the north side because they know you're going to have an event on the south side, and you have to kind of, you know, weigh the pros and cons, whether it's worth losing entrants for future entrants down the road.
I definitely don't think it should have been stretched too far.
Right.
But I think they should have tried to stretch it another week. They should have tried to have a week to build hype for the new venue instead of just basically 6 days.
Right. No, it's always tough when you hear about something changing in that short amount of time. I'm interested to see what numbers they pull. And also, sometimes it's just like, hey, hell, just pull the Band-Aid off. You know, maybe they don't have 100 this week. But if they put on a great product and a great show, and then people talk about it and talk about how great of a time they have, and people see Snapchat and pictures of the venue, and, you know, and they see old man Santi, you know, passed out at the high table with his whiskey, you know, they're like, man, maybe that's a place I'd want to be, and then maybe in 2 or 3 weeks you get the numbers that you want.
So I thought you were going to say 2 or 3 weeks. I want to be passed out at that table, too.
I'm telling people, like, look, I've recognized him. I've seen him on the LSG podcast. They're blowing up. I want to be where he's at. Absolutely.
There you go.
I mean, it just comes back to that marketing.
Yeah.
You know, how much marketing they needed to have done and do in order to reach that 100, you know, goal that they've set themselves to.
Yeah, you know, I just think they can. I think they can hit it. And at the end of the day, let's say you stay at your same venue on the north side, you're not going to hit 100 there.
No.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, well, just go with where we want to hit the 100, and we're going to build that way up. There's no shame in not hitting it for a few weeks and then eventually get there. If you're doing it, you still have to do everything right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not doing anything right, you're not going to get to that 100 mark. So we'll see. I'm going to make a trip down there. I'm out of town the next 3 or 4 weekends, but I'm going to be making a Sunday trip there before the end of the second quarter for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to visit there as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I'll make sure to read my emails for that carpool and that everything that you guys do. Make sure I don't get caught in junk again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. RGB.
How good is RGV?
RGV's good.
Yeah.
RGV's good. They've always been good. They've never been a region in Smash that weren't good. In terms of your top level players,
Right.
your top, I don't know, let's just say top 7 or 8 players from Melee, they had some really strong competitors. Really strong. They just couldn't, I mean, it's a drive. It's a drive. And, there may be some matchups that they're not experienced with because they may have a smaller community. They've always been strong. They've been hella strong in Brawl. With a few select players. Melee, strong. Smash 4, of course, they had great players. I've lost to, just Smash 4 players in the RGV outside of the top 10. They still have a good middle group there.
Yeah.
Same thing for Ultimate. Shoot, I'm telling you, man. I was impressed with what I saw from El Wolf at the Arcadia. I really was.
Were you expecting he'd do that well, or?
I felt like it was going to be an out-of-city player, yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be Brave or someone else. I wasn't sure who was from RGV.
The Brave upset was.
Yeah, that was huge.
That was shocking.
That was shocking. Peachy, man, I tell you. But I didn't know who was there from RGV because, like I said, they're just not a community you see every day, so you may not recognize. You may see El Wolf, but you don't know that that's El Wolf. You've never met him before.
Yep.
I wasn't surprised. What I was surprised with was how many games he dropped because he really tore it through.
Yeah.
He
Dropping
really
2 games.
Right.
All day.
Right. And if that was like a Houston player or if that was a Dallas player or an Austin player, we would be super woke, like, oh, my God, how did this guy just run through the event, only drop a couple games, and just take it easy squeezy?
So that event was still pretty stacked. Like, we might have banned top 20, but you still had guys that were right on the cusp. Not Justin's currently 21. Zutid's top 20, like 23 or 4.
Right.
Nicole is not to be slept on. She's way better than her power ranking.
Well,
or whatever it says.
you can't trust those ELO rankings, to be honest, because a lot of it could be skewed based off of sample size and farming events. But no, I mean, it was a hella stacked event. And I don't fault anyone. I guess it depends on what you go for, right? I mean, you don't want to set your criteria to say, you know what, I want to make sure Houston wins this event, because that's not the right mentality.
Right.
No.
So you can't fault someone for saying, well, I only banned 5 of RGV, but you banned 10 of another city. Well, it's like, look, we're not trying to just ban the certain amount of people to where a Houston person is going to win the event. We're going to ban based off of player base or whatever you're going for.
Right.
Really.
We're trying to put on a good show with a good, diverse cast of players from other cities. We're trying to incentivize people to actually travel.
Right.
If we banned top 10 at RGV, nobody from RGV would have come up.
Right. And if you're going for the most amount of entrants possible, it's the right play. It's the right play. And it's good for the local scene. Hella good for the local scene.
It was really cool to see the RGV carpool, too, because it included 2 players that were banned. Still made the drive up here. Still played friendlies. They played with Bonrin. They played with Wormy. They played with this guy.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. It's usually in these communities with less players or a smaller feel. You'll usually have a more tight-knit and people willing to make the trip for, hey, look, there's not a monetary reason for me to go, but I'm going to support you. I want you to win. I want to be cheering you on.
Yeah, they had 4 people come up and only 1 person entered.
Shoot, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
he won the thing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You'll see that with smaller scenes. You'll see more tight-knit and people making the trip.
So talking about attendance, you mentioned a little bit about how it was good in attendance, right? 100 plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
How come Houston can't have that consistently? What is stopping Houston? And I think we've asked you this before, and we've asked several guests this question before. It's just like, what are we missing? Why can't we hit Shockwave numbers?
Well, out of those 100, how many would you say were out of city?
I think it was 6.
So most of it was local.
It was all
grown,
local,
right?
Yeah.
There's a couple things that play in. I think you're more likely to get 100 people to show up at a venue on Saturday than you would maybe Wednesday night.
Right.
That's just, I mean, I could be wrong on that, but that's just what my gut instinct is telling me. You may have more people willing, especially if they don't have work, they haven't just gone through an 8-hour or 10-hour workday like some people have to go through. You're more likely to maybe get those people coming in on a Saturday than a Wednesday.
Do you think the length of the tournaments may be an issue? As in, like, if we start at 7, why is it ending at 1 a.m.? Do you think that's a
Uh,
big issue too?
Maybe, but I don't really see a lot of events hit that mark. At least right now, because we're so small.
Right.
So you really don't see a lot of events push past 10, 11, or even midnight.
Right.
Now, if it got that big, and that's why I tell people it's not impossible for us to have a 100-man weekly on a Wednesday, but I think it may be impossible for us to sustain it.
Yeah.
If we don't have the team that's going to run through that bracket before, I mean, hell, even Shockwave, they can't run. You have a limitation of what.
That's one of my favorite things about watching the Shockwave development is if you watch the earlier stuff in the first couple days of Ultimate when they were first hitting the 150, 200 person mark, they were struggling with schedule. They grew faster than they expected, struggled with the venue, struggled with winning brackets on time, struggled with ending on time. They were there 2, 3 a.m. sometimes. They had to even cancel a couple at the end and just split pots because they couldn't finish.
Yeah, you have that, but I think now that they fixed those issues, and so Houston needs a team where everyone's confident that hell that was a rough event. I didn't have fun. It ran long, but I have faith that so and so is going to fix it the next time, or it's going to improve. And if you have that, then you may have. But if you keep having these 100-man weeklies, hypothetically, I may not be in the boat that they're going to happen, but hypothetically, and after 3 or 4 weeks, they're still running super long. You're still waiting an hour for your second match.
Yeah.
Then you're going to see that attendance drop back down to the norm. So it takes a team. It takes a solid team. And I think Saturday is a good day to have a weekly, if you were going to have a weekly.
Right.
And I think you're more likely to get those big numbers than opposed to a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday night.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Saturday's the day. Another thing about Overlook Caffeinated, we had a lot of really young players come out. We had a lot of players brought by their parents. We had a lot of high schoolers.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not going to have someone come out on a school night.
No.
You're not going to, at least for me, I mean, if I told my mom, hey, Mom, it's a tournament at 7, she's like, okay, well, we have dinner at 7. Well, Mom, can I please skip dinner? Fine, Santi, you're amazing at Smash. I'm going to let you skip dinner.
Right.
All right, Mom, I'll see you at 2:30 because I think I'm going to get top 8.
Yeah,
Hold on, have you done your homework? You got 6th grade tomorrow. Like, I don't think you're going to do that. So,
No.
I
No,
think
but
that's
it was good to
aspect.
see the age diversity that when we had Overly Caffeinated. We're really, really, really excited and happy with the turnout, and
It was great.
we're still talking about it because it was just that good.
I mean, it was a huge event.
It was a huge event. It was a great learning opportunity for what we can do going forward in Houston because
Yeah.
it was mostly local players that turned up.
Mm-hmm.
And if we host other events in that vein, it can only go up from there. We can get so much more. We can become so much more in the Houston scene. We could sustain bigger weeklies. We have a couple venues that can do it.
Yeah, and also you could probably have events that are non-Arcadian because you always do get that little, adrenaline bump or a boost with numbers on Arcadians. I think it's even possible you guys have an event that is not an Arcadian that pushes that 100-person, 150-person number.
That could be done. It'd be nice to see. I think one thing the Houston scene struggles with is having events where it's maybe 1 or 2 representatives from PR, and that's it.
Yeah.
Or maybe 3 on some events, but most events don't have the majority of PR there. It'd be nice to see an event where all the top 10 were there.
Yeah, and I think, well, here's the thing. Ultimately, I think what will drive that will be out-of-town players.
Yeah.
It's a twofold thing. For people that really care about PR, which you don't have a lot of people, but you do have some top-level players that care about PR. If they know other PR players from other cities are coming in, that's incentive for them to go and get that event because they may not, look at Deluxe, right? Deluxe just went to Shockwave. But last quarter, he wasn't really able to play anyone from Dallas, right? And that was something that kept him off the top 15 when everyone knows he's a top 15 player in Texas,
absolutely.
right? He just doesn't – when the panel looks at criteria and who you beat, they don't have anything for him. So now he's got a couple wins under his belt, right? He's beaten Austin. He's going to have that win on his PR. If you have an event where you're incentivizing out-of-city carpools and you're incentivizing other people to come from Dallas, RGV, Austin, San Antonio, you're going to have PR players say, look, let me go build up my resume. Let me go get some of these wins that otherwise I would have to drive 3 hours for or I would have to drive 4 hours for. And there's also the aspect of let's protect Houston. Let's protect the city. Let's not let, number 5 from another city come in and take this event.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you think the turnout for Smash Point will be? Do you think we'll see a lot of the top 10 PR there, most of it?
I don't know. Um, if I had to guess, how many of your top 10 would be there? Shoot, I don't know. I'd probably set the over/under at 6.
It's a fair amount.
Yeah. Um, I think you're gonna have decent numbers. I don't think it's gonna hit. I don't know. Well, it depends on what number you think. And these conventions always are going to have a boost,
Right.
especially a free tournament. You're always going to have.
Right.
Well, hell, who are these 40 people, 40, 50 people that entered? I think it'll have a couple hundred.
Mm-hmm.
And I think out of the top 20, you're going to have out of the top 20 and 30, you're going to have a higher percentage than 60%. But you may have 5 or 6 out of the top 10.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know what numbers they're going to hit. They have a lot of out-of-town talent they're bringing in.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any real.
That's also
Like-
PR, right?
It depends on numbers because PR events are all about turnout numbers.
Oh, okay.
So.
And I was talking 6 local PR players.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about too. Houston PR players representing at Smash Point.
Right.
It'll be interesting though to see how many people come out to that event, how big it is, how much weight it actually has, and what top talent's there. Because they already announced guys like Goblin and Mewtwo King.
Mewtwo King, yeah.
Mewtwo King is a great personality, great player, but realistically, like he's the top 50 player, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. You just can't sleep on the guy. I mean, it just feels hard to rank him because he's just always. I mean, just any game.
He could win anything.
Yeah, he really can, and it's not necessarily drawn off talent with the game because he's a guy that he'll play you, he'll learn your habits, and that it doesn't matter. You guys could be playing Texas Hold'em, and he's going to pick up your reads and your tendencies. You know what I mean? So like eventually the game means a little less than in what you think.
I just hope their production is great. You know.
Yeah.
Their streams, their casters. I hope that is also something that they can provide at.
Yeah, we got to help him. Remo can't do it all by himself.
Right.
He always puts out a good stream. So a lot of it is going to come back to us and the community, and who's going to. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there, which I think it may happen with a lot of people where they may already have plans. It was, but when you have these opportunities, you have to seize them.
Right.
It's not like, hey, I knew about this for a year and just decided to, release it a couple months. You got to seize them.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Nobody at this desk will be there. The three of
really?
us, because Texas
You'll
Showdown's
be
the
at
same
Texas
weekend.
Showdown. Yeah, I'll be.
So we'll be at Texas Showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on the beach. I'll be with some friends. We rented a house, and so I'll be on the beach. So
There
I'm
you
not going to
go.
go to either of them. And I sent you guys an email, but it might have gone into the junk.
Oh, yeah,
junk side.
probably. Yeah, the spam.
So unfortunate there.
Yeah.
It's with your other requests, like the 10 requests we got to come back on the show. It's probably with those somewhere.
Yeah. It's on that list.
Look, I appreciate you saying 10 because I really feel like I maybe messaged you guys 15 or 20 times like, hey, I need to be the first comeback guest. I mean, look, the Banjo Brotherhood's coming in strong. The retirement homies are there.
Yeah.
There we go. Shout out to Rosen.
Like,
Yeah.
can we see the chat?
And
Can we see the chat on the screen?
And I don't want to talk about how much I had to pay you guys to
bring you back?
to bring you back.
Yeah.
No,
No, that's
Vincent-
confidential.
Vincent-
You're
Vincent
using that
can't-
streamer money.
Vincent can't bring up chat right now
Can you
because
bring
he's
up the
in,
chat? Yeah.
he's in chat. He's part of the
Oh,
Banjo
you're in the
Brotherhood.
chat
he's,
right
he's
now.
putting
Yeah,
the banjos.
yeah.
He's
putting
spamming the whiskey glass.
the whiskey glass emotes. He's putting all those out there. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's see.
There we
Let's see.
go.
got
I called it.
Rosen.
Rosen's right
Yeah,
there.
there you go. Thank you, Rosen.
I mean, the
I
guys come in. The
appreciate
guys
you.
come in clutch. That's one of the biggest surprises I've had with the stream. Is just, man, you really can build a close knit group of
Yeah.
gamers and friends and
Yeah,
people that you consider homies for sure.
Yeah, it's like Tim's always like, man, this came out of nothing. Like this.
It did.
This dumb idea came out of nothing. Like,
Yeah.
now we're here. Now we're doing this. Now we got the radio station, La 920 AM.
Yeah,
And,
shout-outs.
we got them, and we just appreciate,
Coral Sword.
Yeah, we appreciate the
Yeah.
Slur Nerd, Coral Sword, and this partnership that we're building with them. So anybody that's out there that's listening and is interested in partnering up with Last Dog Gaming, we will find a way to partner with you. We will find a way to work together one way or another. To reach out, go to our website, lastdoggaming.com. Again, reach out, man. Like a simple Twitter follow, a simple Instagram follow can get you in contact with us, and we will figure it out. If you're a player in need of assistance, of help, reach out. TOs, reach out. Esports org, reach out. So,
But bringing the conversation back to Houston scene. People like Deluxe traveling more.
Yeah.
You already mentioned him not getting top 15 on the
Right.
Texas PR,
Right.
which undisputedly he is a top 15 player, but he didn't have the results to back it up because he didn't play anybody
Right.
very notable on the Texas PR.
Yeah, and you got to have criteria. Yeah.
Exactly. How do you think Houston as a scene compares to other scenes within Texas, though?
In terms of talent.
In terms of talent, infrastructure, just in general.
Well, in terms of talent, they're very strong. In terms of talent, they're very strong. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you look at the Texas PR and you're like, yeah, but you know what? That's great that we had some of the Houston players hit that.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, we have like a couple that we think should be on there, but they just don't have the wins or the
Right.
out-of-city wins yet. So very top-heavy, I would say pretty strong. Pretty strong. I haven't played in Dallas yet, but I think some of these cities where you're having these 100-man weeklies and you're having players that are getting experience playing these longer tournaments, and I think you may have a stronger middle ground, stronger player base there in the middle.
Right.
Maybe you're ranked 25, 30 to 70, with Houston maybe a little bit more skewed than as opposed to a San Antonio or a Dallas where they're ranked 30 to 70 or at that weekly every week playing for 5 or 6 hours in a 100-man, 150-man tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proper production, great events,
Yeah.
grows talent, grows that middle ground.
Yeah. It goes a
Those
long
are the
way.
guys that get the most growth from that.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And don't get me started on infrastructure. I don't want to talk about how far behind we are on that.
So do you
Yeah.
think Texas can get to a level where it can compete with the likes of NDVA and Florida? Because I think those are the top two scenes, right? New England's up there, but
And California, West Coast.
West Coast.
Shoot, it would be tough. It would be tough. I'm gonna tell you what. It would take a group of 10 or 15 top level players to really grind it out and be committed to traveling and committed on putting in the time and taking names to do that, because that's what California's doing.
Right.
California, you have
Yeah.
these huge events, and you have these guys that just literally they all rent a house and they all play together, and they just eventually those practice hours stack up, and you can't catch up. It would take a lot. I think Florida MDVA that's more attainable than maybe some players on the West Coast, maybe even some players in the tri-state area.
Tri-State's so stacked. I was watching
yeah,
Nairo
shoot,
versus
God.
Show You James. Show You James is
I just keep thinking of these regions. It's going to take 3 or 4 guys to really just say, you know what, we're going to level up. We're going to play 30 hours a week. We're going to go to other top players, and it has to be our life. And I think that's where it kind of gets the line between hobby and career kind of separates, because
Right.
you have these guys on the East Coast and on the West Coast. It is their career. They're going to these major tournaments. They are
Yeah.
sponsored by big-name players. They are going to those things. That's always going to be tough to catch up to. That's always going to be and there's not much you can do there, right? I mean,
even those regions though, like MDVA and Florida specifically, they only have a handful of players that are that level where they're traveling to every national event where they're
True,
sponsored. They have a
true.
lot of top level players on their PR
true.
that aren't at that level, that aren't sponsored, that are still going to the weeklies, still going to the monthlies, winning
Right.
those weeklies, winning the monthlies, winning the
Right.
reoccurring events locally and somewhat regionally, but not really going beyond that. So Texas as a whole, we're huge. The sheer amount of people and diversity, like we have San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Houston, RGVA. If you want to count the Beaumont area and
Yeah, I would.
Louisiana, Lake Charles area.
I mean, I would. We got what Beaumont took second place at the Arcadian. They definitely have
Yeah.
some players that.
Shout out to Ronnie too. We
they-
adopted him, by the way. He's
Oh, really?
Houston, yeah.
Nice, nice. I mean, hell, I mean, sometimes you got to take what you can get, right? I mean, like, you know what? Yeah, Beaumont's really. I mean, New Orleans is pretty much like Houston. You know, when we have a lot of Saints fans here, so you know,
There you go.
you adopt whoever you got to adopt, and that's the same thing for nationals. You're like, hell yeah, I'm rooting for Louisiana. They're Texas. They're South. You just
They're-
expanded.
Yeah, it's East Texas.
They're South. They're South. Yeah, they're South.
Southeast Texas.
Yeah, we're South boys here. We're not Texas boys. You kind of expanded, so that's cool.
I'm gonna give you a different kind of question. Like,
No, you're not.
what do
No,
you
you're
think
not.
that local government, like City of Houston, Harris County, can do for the esports scene?
I would like them to not do anything.
So there was a Houston Chamber of Commerce had a meeting with this place called Valhalla Esports Lounge,
Yeah, yeah.
and they had a little discussion with a bunch of like older gentlemen discussing esports in Houston and how Houston can become the next mecca for that with population base and diversity of the city and
Right.
just the city infrastructure,
Yeah.
that it's a sustainable city to support that kind of thing. What are
Well,
your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think that's fine. In terms of when the question was like what they can do for us, I don't want to put that on anyone else.
Right.
It needs to come down to what can the community do, what can our top level players do, what can our business organizations do. I'm more concerned about what they can do, and then of course the city, I would like them to not give hassle,
To not shut us down, to not say, hey, you're over.
Exactly.
The fire marshal's going to come and shut down your venue because you have 120
Exactly.
entrants.
That's what I'm talking about. Is like I just don't want them to make it harder.
Yeah.
In terms of what they can do, it's really it comes down to grassroots. It comes down to the community doing it. And I don't think any other way is going to be the solution. I just don't want them to make it tougher and harder and more red tape or,
Right.
like you said, shutting down TGC returns because we were breaking fire code. That would
I
not
mean,
be good.
that's one of the issues next level had. I mean, like I assume that's why they keep delaying, from opening up. So.
Well, I mean, shoot, running a business is tough. I mean, you're just gonna run. I mean, it's not really It's not a Smash specific thing. You're gonna run a business. You want to run a company. You want to, develop an arena or develop a spot. You're gonna run into hiccups. You're gonna run into coding. You're gonna run up into developers or competition, and it's just a dog eat dog world out there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a Smash specific kind of thing.
So speaking hypothetically, so Houston, huge city, great turnout.
Yeah.
Vincent here, our boy that's hosting us tonight, puts on regular FGC events.
Yeah.
Really involved in that scene, ingrained in that scene that has a ton of turnout and a ton of representation.
Yeah.
How do you think the health of those scenes can benefit the Smash community? Because if we're growing the esports or the competitive gaming community in Houston as a whole, do you think that's be beneficial to the Smash community?
More is more. More is more. I mean, and ultimately, if you want to run a profitable arena, you probably are going to have some crossover.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to have just a Smash Bros. Esports arena, I'm telling you, you're going to whoever would do that would be like, yeah, I'm not going to sign off on that. You may be having a tough time.
Hey, all 30 of my friends are going to come out, though.
Exactly. So you do need crossover, and the FGC is huge, and they have grinders in the scene, too.
Yep.
I mean, you have guys that really grind the game, really put in time, and also can be grassroots with some games. So I think you guys are great at it. I mean, partnership, people that you think can help take you to the next level, who have skills and resources that would just be an addition to your team. It's the same thing for crossover, same thing for MK11 and Smash, right?
Right.
Or an event like, look, we're going to put an event together that has 4 games, and we're going to get enough people to pay for this venue.
That's definitely something I've always respected about the FGC is they don't rely on just a handful of guys playing Tekken. No, they got Tekken, Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Injustice, all the different titles band together and they work together as a community and they grow the scene and they grow the player base, and that's why you have those awesome events that you see all the time on Twitch coming from SoCal, and again, it's the same hotspots. The hotspots for the FGC are the same communities or same centers, population centers that the Smash hotspots are, and there's a reason for that.
Well, it's also a hotspot for NBA talent and NFL talent. I mean, it's a lot of it. I think runs overlapping with a lot of industries.
Yeah.
But you bring up a good point with that community. You have a lot of cross pollination there with MK11, Tekken. Probably has something to do with just the style of fighting and carrying a box around and being able to plug in and learn that style.
And you definitely have businesses that are doing well off of it too, like Zandu.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them. Up in Maryland.
Yeah.
That event is always full. Every single event they have there, every single weekly they have there, every monthly they have there, every FTC event they have there, they're always pulling huge numbers, and it's because of the organizations behind it. It's because of the businesses behind it, because of the venue, because of the tournament organizers, because of the players, because of the community. It always goes back to the roots of the scene being your passionate core base, and then expanding from there and being welcoming to others and bringing in the community and growing the community from the bottom up.
That's why Coral Sword is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, you need those
Yeah.
hubs. You need those
Yeah.
hubs, and a lot of times, and there's more commonality than there are differences.
Mm-hmm.
People that really are passionate about a project or
Yeah.
a game or a hobby, people that you want the best for Houston, that care a lot about the city. There's a lot of commonality there for sure.
No, that's something great about where we're at today. Like Pablo was saying, Coral Sword, like they're always hosting stuff.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
always involved.
Yeah.
There's
Um,
always something going on here, so come out to Coral Sword.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan, and it's in my neck of the woods.
It's like an hour for me, but
Yeah, I love it. And you need spots like this ultimately, and I like the board gaming aspect to it.
yeah.
Board gamers, typically like video games, and they typically like strategy,
Yes.
and they know what it's like to put in a lot of time to get
Yeah.
good at something. I think it's something that you can pick a couple players up.
No, absolutely. Vincent, do we have a way to bring up how long we've been live? Can you bring up uptime?
Yeah, I think we're like close to 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
I think
We've been live for like 10 minutes.
Okay, so we're about 25, so good. I was worried that we were going to run over because sometimes I tend to get lost in conversation, just drag this on, and we
Well,
end
no,
up getting
that's
close to
25
the
minutes live.
25 minutes live on the show.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, that's the beauty. That's the
Oh
beauty
my
when
goodness.
I cut to the
We're
chase.
still at it.
When I cut to the chase and I tell you when I answer your questions like so.
This is the thing about having a repeat guest, Pablo. We can't
Perfect.
recycle the
I
script
know,
again.
we can. I
Perfectly.
mean, like every time we have had somebody here, we use the same. We use the same like questions and stuff. Not questions, but like.
I
same
copy paste the
style.
same Google Doc and edit things to make it appropriate for the
Yeah.
guest. Like we talked about this
And
with
our
Zaddy.
guest- and our
Zaddy was
guest
on.
drives it.
Like the reason all these shows have been so different is because of different personalities.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's something that's really refreshing about having repeat guests. We get to explore the format a little bit, expand on some topics that we didn't get to last time.
Right.
But what do you think about stream quality?
Yeah.
The
Well, you-
Coral events, the Slurred Nerd, top level production,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Remo, top level production.
Yeah.
But we got a couple other events in town that not so hot.
Yeah. Whiskey. Well, I mean, you're forgetting one other quality stream.
Whiskey Wednesdays. It conflicts
Whiskey
with the
Yeah.
Coral Sword. I mean,
it conflicts with the
LSG.
Wednesday night podcast.
Wednesday night.
I don't,
But-
conflicts is such a strong word, Tim.
Well, I
It's such a
appreciate you
strong-
delay and avoid coming on and bodying the followers until afterwards. That way I can enjoy that because that was entertaining as hell.
No, quality content with streams I think it's crucial nowadays. It's crucial nowadays, and everyone's wanting to increase their own cloud and their own following, and a strong stream production is a great way to do that.
Right.
You can always review our stream like while you're streaming, right? So.
No. Well, no. Here's the thing. I've actually wanted to do that, but you guys won't get the viewers
Oh,
because I would want to commentate it. There's a couple guests. I'm not going to say. There's a couple guests. I will ask your permission if I could broadcast it on my stream with my commentary real time. The only downside is I get the viewers and you guys don't.
No, don't worry about it.
and
Like
so look, I'm just a fair guy. So, yeah.
all of that goes on our website, lastsawgaming.com. You're welcome to review it live after, whichever you
Well,
like.
Wednesday I'm gonna host.
there you go.
So
Wednesday you're gonna host. Okay.
I like the way you guys are doing it now because Wednesday I can host you guys during my stream.
Yeah.
Where all those viewers I already have can watch this podcast with y'all.
Yes.
And then you guys get all the love.
Yep.
Awesome.
So quality of streams, quality of events. Do you think it drives turnout? Do you think
Yeah.
there's a correlation between seeing the stream and wanting to go to that event?
I
think
do.
people like kids in Dallas are watching Shockwave. I'm like, man, I got to go out there and lose to Austin.
Shoot, yeah, I don't see why not. Well, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, and that's the thing. When I tell people, it's like, okay, are you gonna make a case that it hurts turnout?
Right.
I mean, that's the tough thing.
I think the biggest
Yeah.
thing, a lot of TOs in Houston use the excuse of, well, I don't have the time to monitor it. I don't have the time to babysit a stream. I don't have the time to
Yes.
dedicate to the production. But
Absolutely, they don't. It's not a one-man show.
it's not a one-man show.
It's
Like,
not a
Right.
one. It's not a one. I wouldn't expect that. I mean, you look at the tourney locator guy. There's not one man behind the screen, behind the curtain, running the whole
yeah,
thing.
it's several people.
my favorite thing about the T-Lock guys and their production,
Mhm.
the casting. They have such a deep pool of guys that just want to talk about the game. Like it's not like the traditional commentary, but it's beautiful and it's enjoyable, and you can watch their entire broadcast on a Wednesday night or on a Saturday night and be entertained from people watching people drown in pools all the way to watching Austin play whoever his final boss is that week. I guess he's the final boss, but
I don't
whoever
know how-
challenges the final boss that week.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know, and it goes back to a team aspect. They have a deep pool. You have to have a deep bench if your event's going to run 7 or 8 hours.
Yep.
I would love to talk to them sometime and talk about how that happened, maybe organically, where they realize, look, we can't have the same 2 guys on the mic for 7 hours because it's not fair to those 2 guys.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. I mean, look, you guys have been talking to me for 45 minutes, and you guys probably are ready for a nap already. I mean, imagine these guys that do 7 or 8 hours. Yeah, you got to have a deep bench, and I think it's a strong thing.
I mean, Tim can tell you how he felt after casting for like what 10+ hours.
Yeah, it was about 9 hours that I was on the mic on that Arcadian.
Yeah.
And then
run a bottle with it.
Raul didn't even pay the boy.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Raul said, nah, you're casting 10 hours. I'm not gonna pay you whatsoever.
And run a bottle of whiskey with that now too.
No. So off screen, we got a couple guys from the Houston scene that I want to give shout outs to. Obviously, we've already talked about Vincent, but Ram from Corky Sports is sitting over there, and so we got to talk a little crap on him while he's sitting right there watching the production.
No. Shout outs to Ram because he does follow me everywhere I go.
So when are you signing the court?
He's actually, he actually he runs my stream every Monday. He comes to the house. He'll run that.
Wait, didn't you ask him about the Quirk versus LSG?
Oh yeah.
What'd you say, Santi? What'd you say when Tim asked you that?
Was it on a Whiskey Wednesday? Because
I don't remember. It was on a Whiskey Wednesday.
How am I supposed to tell you what I said? I don't remember what I said.
So we're going to have the Cork versus LSG crew battle.
Okay.
The date hasn't been decided yet, but that all started in Santi's stream on a Whiskey Wednesday.
Yeah, well, if it was on a Whiskey Wednesday, this is my second time hearing about it, but really it's probably my first time because I don't – Whiskey Wednesday.
It was late on a Whiskey Wednesday, too.
Look, it's not easy wiping your memory every week. You guys try doing a memory wipe every week. No, a crew battle would be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
You guys got to.
I already got thoughts on like video production and what we're.
No, we're gonna hype it up. That's gonna be.
We're gonna get smoke.
Oh, dude, I'd be excited to see that.
We're gonna get smoke.
Oh, I'd be excited to see that.
Pablo versus Ram.
Well,
ditto.
It's great for the players too because it's gonna create a little bit of a bidding war. They'll be like, look, I know you got a crew battle, but Quark's talking to me. LSG's talking to me. This is what Quark's wanting to do. This is what LSG. Look, and I could be the swaying piece in this crew battle. So crank it up.
Ram's actually in the chat while he's sitting right there saying that he's going to body both of us.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
No, that's just Ram. But we got some stuff in plan for that day. I think it'll be a good day, and we hope that Quirk will accept our challenge.
Yeah, we haven't really heard back from him yet. I think Ram's in the chat. So
they've been trying to figure it out. So
I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good. And look, people are asking me how to fix a scene, and I've been very adamant since day one. You need to have organizational crew battles. Winner swallows the other organization up.
Oh God!
All their resources, all their people, all their money, all their players.
Wow!
And eventually, you'll get your super.
Well, you do know we're not. We don't compete with other organizations, of course. We're here to unite the people.
You know what unites people is when
you're all under one umbrella.
Yeah, you buy them
let me call Trella real quick.
You don't think Disney's united by owning ABC, ESPN, Pixar?
let me call Trella. Let me call Trella.
That's the most uniting thing out there. Oh, this is fun.
Man.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah,
please. Let's go for it.
Do you have any more questions for me?
Oh, I thought we were gonna keep going with your questions. You want to interview us?
I do want to ask you guys a couple questions.
Yeah, go for it.
I think people have started to realize that you guys are making some waves very early on, very quickly, picking up sponsors, very very fast.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, we've only really been involved at this level since the beginning of April.
Right.
So it's a month.
Right.
That all this has come together, all this is happening.
Let him finish his question.
Go finish your question.
No, that's good context because it's 4 or 5 weeks. You guys have been running on this. I think people are motivated. I think you have a lot of younger kids and maybe 17, 18, 19, and like, look, I want to get in this field. I want to get in this line of work.
Yeah.
How do I get started? It's scary. Where do I even begin? And I wanted to ask you guys, just because of your level of success and how you guys are moving in the right direction, what you would say to those people.
Do you want to go or me?
My advice would be if you want to do something, do it.
Yeah.
Don't be so worried about failure because everybody's sitting here.
I'll tell the story. You go.
Everybody's failed. Everybody has dropped the ball at some point. Everybody's screwed up something at some point, and that's how you learn. That's how you grow as a person. So if you really want to pursue content creation or involvement in the FGC or tournament organizing or anything in the esports realm, you have to just do it. You have to just go for it. Put yourself out there. Just do it. make mistakes, learn young, screw up, ask for advice. It's the same as like how you get better at Smash. Like you play, you lose, you get bodied, then you ask the guy, hey, what'd I do wrong?
Right.
And you go from there and you develop yourself as a person.
Yeah. So little background on Last Saw Gaming. We all met in December. No, sorry. Yeah, December.
Yeah, very end of December.
Very end of December, and then we all started just hanging out. I like, was walking around talking to people and just like gathering a group, and then all of a sudden I'm like, with this group, right? We got Tim, Edwin, Chris, Jairo, his brother Fernando, and we were all just hanging out, chilling. I'm like, hey, just give me everyone's number, and we started hanging out every Friday. Every Friday they come over to my house, we play Smash. Every Friday kept going and going and going, and Tim and I just said, you know what, I think we see something here. And of course, you know, we we said a lot of things that we can't say on stream, but we just like dissected the entire community and said this is what the needs are. Nobody is giving us opportunity to, like, I don't want to say join them or anything like that. I think we just wanted to create our own opportunity for ourselves. So if you are on the brink of like, should I do it? Should I not? Just do it. Like, there is no point in not doing it. Like, go ahead and do it. And we started writing things down about like end of February, and then the start of March we were like, okay, for real, like, let's just start going. So all of March was just
Planning.
like grinding, planning, and every day was something new. Every day was like, we need to do this. Every day we need to set up a website. We need to have our YouTube. We need to have our Twitch. We need to have this and that.
They were like, what the hell are we going to do for content? How are we going to have content? What's our content going to be? What are people going to watch?
Yeah.
Right.
And so I said, hey, I've always wanted a podcast where I could just say dumb stuff. Let's have a podcast.
Yeah.
And you know, that's how we started. April 1st was, I guess, our starting there. And I think since then it's been rolling.
And the other thing, like, we've been lucky with guests because the first one was just us, and I reached out to Devin Krebs, and I was like, hey, man, we're starting a podcast. You want to be on? I was just lucky enough to be at events, be talking to people. Like, that's how it starts, is you go out and you talk to people, you network.
Right.
So I said, hey, Krebs, you want to be on? And then, hey, Ram, you want to be on? And then I think I don't even remember who the third guest was. It might have been you. I think it was you.
Yeah, you.
You were third. And then
I thought he was trolling me for a second, and then I was like, no.
Wait, I can't remember the order.
He doesn't.
I'm like,
he doesn't
were
really
you third or
remember the
fourth?
third guy. I remember.
Like,
I thought he was.
like,
I was looking him dead in the
do
eyes.
I remember?
I was like, man, this is high level troll. His first repeat guess. He looks him dead in the eyes, like, I don't remember who we had third.
I don't remember that third episode.
I don't even know what happened there, and now we're here.
So we had you third, Banjo fourth, Zaddy,
Right.
then you again.
And I'm sixth. Yeah, I'm sixth. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. What did you guys just feel right now? How was my audition as a host for a podcast?
Yeah.
How did that feel? That was
Yes.
a beautiful conversation. That was a beautiful conversation. We had laughs.
Yeah.
We had some serious conversation. People probably learned some things watching.
Right?
Wow, man.
Wow, I mean, we
shoot.
should
I mean,
probably-
when
we
it
should
comes down to
probably have,
LSG,
you know.
LSG and QE, I don't know. I do not know. I mean, I feel like this podcasting is really natural to me. I don't have to ask Ram what he has for me.
Yeah. Any more questions for us?
Yeah, I do. How did you guys meet? How did this partnership
So
get
he hit
started?
it on it. Ram, our boy Raul, hosted a what's now Sweet Spot, or not Sweet Spot, Caffeinated.
You guys met at an event?
We met it at an event. We
Oh,
met
wow.
at
We met here.
we met here, literally in this building, about 20 feet over that way, at one of Ram's events.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I think I brought everyone together.
Yeah, it
I
was
just
me,
walking
you.
around. I was like, hey, you want to play? You want to play? You want to play?
Well, it was Edwin. When I walked in, it was Edwin playing and playing against somebody that was playing Cloud. I
Wow.
don't know who it was, but he was playing Cloud. And Chris was hanging out. And so I was talking to Chris. And then Paulo walked up and started talking to us. Then Jairo walked up and started talking to us.
Yeah.
Like the whole core group at LSG, like all of our core volunteers, if you were at Overly Caffeinated, the guys that you saw running pools, like all of those guys were all brought together at what essentially was the first caffeinated
Oh.
event
Well,
of
Here.
Wow.
Ultimate.
Well, there's your story, guys. And that's what people want to hear about. How you guys? This is like Cap meeting Iron Man. This is
Yeah.
this is recruiting Avengers from other events. You know what? You guys need to do an episode where I just host the podcast and I
There we go.
interview
Yeah, quick
LSG.
fire question.
I interview LSG on the LSG channel.
Yeah, we can do that. Definitely.
Wow. We
Well,
just
we'll-
created.
His
we'll
name is
start- we'll
Sam.
start more guys.
The cloud guy, his name is Sam. Thanks, Edwin, for popping in the chat and being our fact checker there.
Mm.
But yeah, it's
Shout out to the LSG boys in the chat right now.
That's really dope. That's cool, and that just shows that. I mean, these events, and I would tell people that are on the fence, even coming to an event, do it because you don't know what could transpire from that, right?
I was literally on the drive over to this event the first time. I didn't really want to come. It's an hour. Like I said,
That's
it's an
what I'm
hour
saying. What
drive
if
for
you never
me.
even came, yeah.
It's an hour drive for me to get to this venue on a weeknight or on
Yeah.
a like right now with no traffic. It's 45 minutes. So when I was thinking about coming to this event, I was talking to my friends that play, the guys I play with online, the guys that I've been playing games with forever, the guys that I actually like have known forever. I was like, hey, should I even go to this event? Like, I'm feeling tired. It was a long day. It was on a It was on a Thursday or it was on a Friday. It was on a weeknight.
It's after a work
Thursday.
day. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
so it was after work day. I was
Or
exhausted,
Wednesday.
and
I don't
I was
know.
just not on the fence about coming, not going to come. And my girlfriend and one of my best friends like, no, just go,
Wow.
just go.
That's dope.
And so I went, and now 5 months later, here we are.
That's dope. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was on the fence of coming too. Like, I was like, should I go? I mean, it was like 5 minutes away from work, so I'm like, it sounds kind of far, but I'll
5
go
minutes.
anyways. So.
Wow. Do you
No,
see-
but if you're looking for a first event to go to, like, come out to one of the caffeinated events
Oh
every
my
other
gosh,
Thursday.
Yes, yes.
Ram's a great host. You have plenty of setups. We're in the Annex now, which is plenty of space. Everybody's playing over there playing friendlies. We have a lot of top-level players. Like our guest last week, Zaddy, comes out. Bonren's typically there.
Yep.
Shadow PR's been there a couple times. Like
Yeah.
you get to lose to top-level players in Houston
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a friendly environment where nobody really cares about the results.
So you get good coffee, you get a discount at the
Yep.
at the register. Man, well, I appreciate you guys sharing that story. I know it.
Yeah.
I
Thank
know
you for
guys,
having us in
well,
your
look,
podcast.
look. I
Santi.
know you guys. I know
appreciate
you
it.
guys were something. You guys realized right away, like, man, I'm about to just open up. How did this come so easy to answer his questions?
Yeah.
And then I could see, like, halfway through the question, he goes, man, this guy Santi, we could have him host the podcast.
Uh-huh.
I saw both of you guys realize that at
Yeah.
the same time. You shared about being on the fence. You shared about
Yeah,
being on the fence.
this is not a Pablo and Tim podcast.
Look,
this
this
is
is
the LSG
the-
podcast.
Look, I mean, sometimes when you got it, and sometimes you may just have these natural talents to be able to interview and flip a podcast.
So where can people find you? We talked a lot about Whiskey Wednesday. Where does that happen?
Well, look, here's the thing. I don't really like to be found. So I don't know. I really try to, stay incognito mode and do that. But,
Shout outs.
well, I'm going to tell you where they can find me. They can find me here on the channel every 3 weeks because, I mean, I can just already tell them I'd be invited back.
Yeah.
Every 3 weeks.
Until
Every
my,
3 weeks
until my
it'll
time
be
is over.
you and a guest.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Give us a little break. We
There
need
we
a
go.
little break. That's
No,
what we need.
I do need to give that to you guys. Old Man Santi is my Twitch channel. That's where you'll find me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would highly recommend follow me on Twitter. I'm starting to. I know I'm 10 years late or 13 years late. I forgot when Twitter came out. I'm 12 or 13 years late on Twitter, but Elder Santi, ELDERSANTI is where you can find me on Twitter, and that's where I'm trying to be a little bit more active. But yeah, go to the Old Man Santi page on Twitch, and you'll find my social media. You'll find my Twitter, my YouTube, and all that. And that's where you can chill with us 3 days a week, where we kind of just chill and have fun.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you guys?
Ooh.
Because they're going to see a lot of
LastLifeGame.com.
clips. They're going to see a lot of clips about this, and I want to make sure we have a clip where they can find y'all.
All right, so my Twitch and Twitter, both moo_SSB. I plug it every time. Like, follow me on Twitter. It's good content. It's good content, damn it.
It's quality content. I average about a retweet of Tim's a day, so I would say it's very.
Hey, when you tweet 100 times, like, I'm of the
It's-
quantity over
it's-
quality.
It's a numbers
Yeah.
game. It's a numbers game, absolutely.
One of those is gonna have 5K retweets.
Someday it's gonna.
Someday.
I just want
One
to
of us is going to be big walking into a green screen someday and go.
Yeah. That-
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
That could have happened in an alternate timeline already.
Right?
No, that video got an insane amount of
I
views.
know. I was like, hold up.
No, shout out to Vincent for the green screen, too.
Yeah.
I,
I was going a little viral there on the Smash community.
Oh, that was
It's pretty
great.
fun.
I joked that I was going to
Yeah.
buy a long sleeve green shirt and wear it to.
There was a guy,
Girls,
the first show we had with the green screen, there was a guy wearing a green hat.
Oh man.
It was
That's trouble.
very, very amusing.
Yeah,
It
that's
was so
trouble.
hard to commentate his match because I was distracted by the hat the entire time.
Oh yeah, people love the the green screen hat for sure.
Well, if you guys want to follow me, just look up Pop Blue. I'm sure you'll find it. Instagram, Twitter as well. But letstalkgaming.com. Check us out. I do hope that at one point we can like sponsor literally the last stock of a game, and
Just
you
that
know,
stock, though.
just that stock. And every time we reach that last stock, somebody will say laststockgaming.com.
Oh,
So,
that's dope.
that's the goal, and I'm sure we can get Ryan to do it.
Yeah, right?
You should.
Yeah. Visit us laststockgaming.com. Top right, you can see all of our social medias, our Twitter, our Instagram, our YouTube, and of course our Spotify, where you can catch all of these wonderful podcasts. You can listen to Olman and Santi a second time
Yep.
on there on Spotify.
If you missed that first episode, you need to go back and listen to it.
yeah. See
Well,
how,
yeah, well,
see how
Just
boring-
start at season.
Or hold on, if they forgot about the episode,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if they-
Maybe I should go listen
if
to
they
that.
forgot about it, maybe you should. Actually, it was
Go
episode.
review bod.
I think it was episode 4, to be honest.
I'm forgetting, I guess. I
Well,
feel so
it
bad.
is four. It is four because the first one was just like us.
So the
gotcha.
first one was us. Then it was, Krebs, Ram, you,
Okay.
Banjo, Zaddy, and you again. So we're
Gotcha.
technically episode 7,
Yeah.
but
Cool.
6th episode with a guest.
Yeah, and
Cool.
we're looking forward to our guests that are coming up.
Who,
we got some
who?
exciting guests.
Tell me.
But no,
Okay,
We'll
you gonna
announce
keep
on
it
Twitter.
secret?
check us out on
Oh.
Twitter, on Instagram. We will definitely announce our guests. We're trying to announce all of our guests on Monday morning. So check our socials.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Anything else that you guys wanna? Say?
I just appreciate you guys having me. I like I said, I say it every time. I like what you guys are doing. I think you should keep it up. I
Thank you.
appreciate you having me, and Tim, I'll let you sign off.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you're listening on Spotify, you're the MVP, but you got to click that follow button at the top of the page. So we'll catch you guys next Wednesday, or
Bye.
maybe even Sunday. See you then.
All right, sounds good.
See
Y'all take it
y'all.
easy.
Bye.